Hi guys, how are you all today morning? Good morning. Today is 6th April 2022. My name is TSV Raghavan and I live in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, India. I am a published author with Amazon Kindle and paperback, and I write on spiritualism, fiction, and assorted subjects. My favorite subject is spiritualism, contemplation, meditation, and thinking about these spiritual subjects. This is my vlog, and I would like to share with you some of my observations and views so that they may be useful to you in forming your own opinions and views. Today we will talk about the matter of stroke, a medical condition that happens to several human beings in the society quite suddenly and without any explanation, and it happens to any living human entity, male or female, at any age, at any given time or period of time. Stroke, unlike heart attack, is a brain stroke. We should remember this. It has been proved that stroke happens at the brain. One part of the brain is so affected by stroke that the part of the gross body that part controls loses its energy forever. This is the reason why stroke is called quite dangerous and often fatal. Brain stroke. What is the brain? Now, first we know that there are four layers of body, material body that envelop the soul. These four layers are: first, the subtle layer of causal intelligence. The second layer is the subtle layer of astral mind. Third, the subtle layer of etheric senses. And fourth is this gross body. It is this gross body that identifies a human being in this material universe. Any living human entity is identified by his or her gross body. The brain is the main instrument of this gross body, and it is programmed in such a way that it takes vibrations from the etheric senses, astral mind, and causal intelligence and give those vibrations an outlet through the rest of its gross body. In other words, the brain represents the three other bodies in exhibition of their vibrations in this material universe through the rest of the gross body, that is, two hands, two legs, one torso, eyes, ears, mouth, nose, etc. This we should remember before we proceed further. The stroke is in the brain, hence it has been caused by some disturbance in the ether. It is not that the other part of the gross body has affected the brain, because it doesn't happen. It is the other way around. Whatever happens in the brain is percolated through the gross body of a living human entity. The permutation and combination of vibrations of any living entity describe the complete personality of this particular human being. Now, though it is called etheric senses, actually both astral and causal bodies, along with the etheric body, represent the permutations and combinations or vibrations of the ether. Why etheric body? Because of the five elements of human body, the first element is ether. The other four are the ones that form the gross body: air, fire, water, and earth. The first is etheric, because this ether is closest to the other four elements, and this etheric body of senses is closest to the gross body. Hence, we say it is etheric body. Actually, subtle and causal parts of the ether form the astral mind of feelings and emotions, and the causal intelligence body, that is the first layer surrounding or enveloping the soul. Now, to put it short, there is one ether of which the most subtle form is the causal body, or forms the causal body, and the slightly less subtle body, the form of this ether, forms the astral body of feelings and emotions, and the almost gross etheric senses are formed by the lesser subtle etheric part. Now, the vibrations of the causal body, the astral body, and the etheric body, which get an outlet through the gross brain of the gross body, decide on the identity of a human being, and thus stroke also happens because of some disturbance in the vibrations of these three bodies that get reflected in the brain, and that is why it is called brain stroke. There was a very famous and successful industrial magnate called Mr. Dhiru Bhai Ambani. This gentleman said that we humans are born in an orbit in this world, in every birth. Some of us remain in that orbit all our lives, whereas some try to come out and go into another orbit. That means that you may say that the permutation of and combination of vibrations of the causal, astral, and etheric bodies may change according to the change in orbit of any living human entity. In one place, it may be that the etheric senses are at the forefront and astral body takes the back seat and causal is almost invisible. In other cases, astral may take the front seat and the other two may take the back seat. Now, in some cases, the causal body takes the front seat. That is, the vibrations from each body may take a front seat and the others may take a back seat in the case of any human being. Because all layers belong to the human being, it is as per the direct or indirect, knowing or unknowing choice of that particular human being that decide on which part of which layer of body will take the front seat. Changing of orbit is connected with this only. In some cases, people change the orbit. When they change the orbit knowingly or unknowingly, some disturbance happens in the other. Many a time, this particular change may result in a brain stroke because you are going from etheric to astral, from astral to causal, from causal to etheric, and so on. When you do that, it is like a train changing its tracks. Your hitherto personality is going to change according to the change of the vibrations of some layer of the body which is going to take a front space and the other two are going to take a back space. For example, in some cases, some may be very sensual for a lot of time in their lives, but suddenly they may get emotional. Very emotional people may get quite logical, and some logical people may become laid back and may allow etheric senses to rule. In such cases, when the change in the orbit is sudden, then please remember that there are chances of a sudden brain attack and brain stroke. Similarly, in medical terms, they say that some disturbance in the gross body affects the brain. But according to what I have contemplated, it is the disturbance in the ether which affects the brain, and as a result of that which affects the brain, the changes in the body and the individual personality of every human being takes place. That is, according to what the medical world calls as cause, it is probably the result and not the cause of a brain stroke. Disturbance happened first in the brain, which changed the psyche of a particular human being and gave an outlet to that particular change through his or her gross body. And that is the reason why the stroke happens in the brain and affects the gross body. Kindly let me know what you think of my talk on this particular subject. If you feel that what I am talking makes sense, kindly subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so that I can keep reminding you of my other videos. Till we meet in my next video, it is good day from TSV Raghavan.